Dragon Jones, the new Cage Warriors lightweight champion. First of all, buddy, you've been working for this for a long time, a number of years. How does it feel? Has that settled in now that you're the champion in this division?
Still isn't settled in, you know. It's still like every time someone says it, it just doesn't sort of feel real. And I know it sounds weird because obviously Cage Warriors is still only basically a European promotion, and then even though it means so much, it's still a stepping stone for me. But it's something a milestone I've always wanted. I want to reach, and because I haven't really gone back to normal training, I haven't been sort of seen the fans always buy tickets. I've seen some of my friends, I've seen some of my family members. So I think until I get back to normal and sort of start seeing like the regular people again, I don't think it's gonna feel real. And I do have to sort of tell myself a couple of times that I am the number one in the division now, and I'm sitting at the top of the tree. So it's a weird feeling, and obviously it's a weird time anyway. So everything sort of worked out well for me, and I'm happy. Well, I'm ecstatic with the way everything went. But yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've seen you just now off the call. Obviously, being a guy, a Welsh MMA reporter, someone who's sort of always trying to put these sort of stories out. To sort of announce that Mason Jones lightweight champion, it's a great feeling for me, and I'm sure it is for all your fans as well. Have you had sort of I know you haven't been able to see people, but you've been getting lots of messages and stuff.
Yeah, I had loads of messages about it, family wise and a lot. And so the day we got back on a Saturday because obviously the show was on Friday night, and lockdown had just gone into effect, and we managed to meet up with a few people in the Lion because it was the last night they were allowed to really be open. So we had a couple of people in the restaurant, and I had a couple of drinks, just family and friends, and I managed to meet up with some people. Obviously, some of my family I didn't get to meet that because they had to go to isolation because they were sort of at risk, and for different reasons. So only it was about 40 people there, I think. But it was still nice, especially to see a lot of the boys. One of my friends I still haven't seen for a long time. He's in Neville Hall. He's been in Neville Hall for a good couple of months. So I haven't managed to see him yet, but we FaceTime quite regularly. So he was the first person I rang after the fight. Obviously, I rang my dad real quick and my girlfriend, and then I gave him a quick FaceTime and just said it was a few, and also I had him in tears. So it was nice, even though I couldn't be there. So he was celebrating and going mental and screaming the hospital down.
Yeah, no, fair play. I mean, let's get into it now. Let's talk about this Cage Warriors. Well, it was officially Cage Warriors London at first, wasn't it? And then we had this whole crazy week. Like I come and interviewed you, I think 10 days out, and you just lost your first opponent. Yeah. The card was still going on in London at that point. Then I think obviously they announced the day later that you're going to be facing McColgan for the title. Then UFC.
No. I had a different opponent. So when I spoke to you, they'd offered me an opponent, but he hadn't signed yet. And so I lost my first opponent. Right. Then they offered me Crazy Legs, and then a week out they offered me Joe. And then, was it 3-4 days out, they changed it to Manchester?
Yeah, so I think they cancelled London on the Sunday or Monday, which obviously everyone thought they thought Cage Warriors was going to go the same way. But, I mean, I think most people did think that, but then they changed the arena, changed the venue. And, I mean, just first of all, from a fighter's perspective and your whole team, what was that like, sort of not knowing the fight was on, not knowing where it was going to be? What was going through your mind at this point?
I think it was more stressful for everyone else. I've had fights before where I didn't think, like, I've had sort of panicky where my opponent's not going to make it and stuff, or the show was going to be cancelled. But I didn't really stress about this one. It was sort of a little bit worrying because of the old virus thing that everything was going to get cancelled. But when I read sort of some of the stuff that Graham had said, I think the one thing that calmed me down more than anything else was when he said he'll take tanks and soldiers with guns to stop Cage Warriors from happening. I was like, oh, well, it's going to go ahead. So there wasn't sort of, I was quite relaxed with like all I've got to do is prep and get everything in all my ducks in order sort of thing, and then I leave everything else up to everyone else. So my coaches, my parents were more stressed than anything else, and then it was just sort of like trying to make sure at the end people weren't losing money, to be honest. So like hotels and accommodations, like I lost a little bit with my hotel, which I'm hoping I can get half back now because obviously the next day was full lockdown, so I wouldn't actually been able to turn up. But I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll have to see. But money's money. Do you know what I mean? Like I earned more in my purse, so I'll just take it out of my purse. It's not really a problem. But as long as I got a fight and I got a win some lovely accessories. I'm happy, and everything worked out, and it was an awesome experience to fight Joe, and that's all that matters.
But yeah, I mean, that brings me on to my next question, which was the fight itself. I mean, Joe McColgan is no joke. He's a really, really good guy. Been in a lot of good fights with Cage Warriors, and he's been sort of dangling around that title shot for a while, I would say. I know he took a little bit of time off just before people were saying he was going to get a shot. He came back, had some big fights. So a really tough opponent. Obviously, you stepped in there and got the first round TKO. Can you just talk us through that fight, and how did it go in terms of what you were thinking?
So I knew I had a list. I've talked to you about this before. I've got a list of names on my phone. When I made my debut, we've got a coaches group chat, and it's literally my coaches, my dad, my brother. So anytime we have a fight, someone offers me a fight, or obviously anything to do with Cage Warriors, it goes in there, and they all approve. And anything we need to know about the fights or dates and stuff, all my coaches are connected that way, because obviously they're not all from the same gym, so we all stay connected that way. And the cover photo for the group is the list of names of fighters that I wanted to take out in the 155 division. And it was Soren Bak was on there before he went to Bellator. Jakobsen was on there because when I first debuted, he was one of the top fighters. Joe McColgan was on there, and Desmé was on there. So I've ticked 2 of the names off now. There was another name on there as well. I'm not going to mention that. Just because I don't want to probably more sway towards that fight happening. Obviously, when I made my debut, these are the guys I'd seen fight, because the day I made my debut, I'm sure that it was either then or my second fight was when Franco fought Joe. One of them he fought Desmé, and one of them he fought Joe. And I saw Joe again when Josh Reed fought for the title, so I'd seen him fight, and I knew he was legit up and comer, and he was someone I thought I could take out rather easy, style wise. I thought I worked out well against him, and I just thought that he wasn't a complete fighter in regards to the way I was. I thought I could dismantle him. I just have to slow him down, and as soon as I could land on him, I could put him away. And my game plan when Graham offered me the fight, he offered me it and said because Joe's close to the top of the tree, they'd make it a title fight. And obviously I was over the moon. I said, look, I really want to say yeah, but I need to put my coaches, and I don't know whether they're going to accept or not because it's so close to the fight. We're a week out. Joe's a big name. I'll get back to you, but just so you know, they're quite serious about a lot of things. And he was like, yeah, just get back to me. And I didn't ring my dad and my brother first. Normally I ring my dad and then I ring Greg, because those are the first 2 I know. I run Craig first because Craig's the most sort of out of all my coaches, he's had the most fight experience personally, and obviously he's competed at a higher level than the rest of them. Like the guy's gone to World Games in judo and stuff. Like he's competed against the best in judo. So I rang him. He said, look, I know his name's come up before and we've done breakdowns, and then he said, I'll have a quick look and I'll get back to you. Then I rang my dad. My dad literally, I said, they offered me Joe. He said, have you said yes yet? I was like, no. I was like, I'll put the coaches. He said, no. He said, it's the belt as well. Accept it. He said, I thought you would accept it by now. I was like, look, we do things properly or we don't do it at all. So Greg was exactly the same. Greg was like, yes, take the fight, tell him yes. I was like, look, chill out. And then Lyndon was like, I'm sure we mentioned him before. He's like, what do you think? I was like, I'll outstrike him all day. He's like, I'll take the fight then. So Craig got back to me, and Craig was like, look, he's like, I've looked him up. I knew we'd done a bit of him before. He said he's legit. He's like, I'll do more looking into it. He said, but all the rest of the coaches think you can take it. He's like, I agree, just accept it. So I rang Graham back. I think it was something like 4 minutes after he'd rang me. I was like, yeah, we accept. And he was like, oh, good. I thought you would. And it all went ahead from there. But yeah, Joe was good. The game plan, obviously, coming in was to pick him out of range and to smash his front leg. I did that at the start. I think he caught me with a left hook and a right leg kick. Didn't really do any damage to me, but apart from that, they're the only clean shots he really caught me with. I closed him, hit, and all I did when we closed was knee in the front leg. I was driving my knee into the top of the calf, and then I was hitting the Achilles all the time and working the bottom of the calf. Sorry, hitting the quad and working the calf. So I made sure I was working all his front leg constantly, keeping him moving and just keep working it. And then after the last kick landed, I seen him really struggled to put weight on his leg, and he stopped moving. And as soon as he stopped moving, my hand started landing. And then obviously, as soon as you'll see it, I thought that in the video Cage Warriors posted, you hear the leg kick land. Like it was ridiculous how loud it sounded on camera.
Yeah.
And when it's quiet, and then I catch him with either a right hand left hook or left hook right hand, and you see him just literally cover up and put his head down. And as soon as he put his head down, I knew that was the end of it, because I just literally was waiting for him to sort of cover up, because he leaves massive gaps for uppercuts or knees. I watched the Mehdi Lakdar fight.
Yeah.
I was catching him with uppercuts all the time. And I just thought there's a big gap underneath. And as soon as he did, I just threw that knee up. And I knocked him out. Like, it wasn't a TKO finish, because I hit him with it. And like, I've hit people, and
he dropped the knee. He dropped flat as soon as the
that's
knee.
the thing. Like, I've stopped people before. Like, obviously, I stopped. What's his name? I stopped the Polish guy, Machida. And I stopped. What's his name? The big guy. He went up middleweight since. Anyway, I stopped two, and they had both been sort of shots where I ground him in, and they had sort of dropped because they'd just taken too much. Him, I hit him, and his legs give away. Like, he crumpled from his legs. Like, he went straight down, and like the sort of hitting him at the end was just because he landed and sort of tried to cover his head. I was like, I ain't having none of that. I didn't want it. I didn't want him sort of coming back around and grabbing onto me, so I was just hitting him as hard and as quick as I can. And the ref, fair play, was straight in there to stop it. So it was. The game plan went perfect. Obviously, there's still things I can work on. I took a couple of too many shots. I didn't move him as well in the wrestling exchanges as I really wanted to.
Did he surprise you with his strength in the wrestling? Like, I kind of, a couple of days before the fight, funny enough, I was down the gym. I was speaking to one of your training partners, Jamie Hughes, and he was saying that he really felt like, you know, with this fight, as well as the striking, you could potentially go for takedowns and test Joe on the ground. Did he surprise you with the takedown defense, Joe?
It was weird because I sort of wasn't too worried about taking him down. I just wanted to keep him moving in. But if he could have gone down, I would have taken him down. Like, if he'd give me any of those takedowns when I was hitting them, I would have gone with it. But he was just weirdly built. So, like, if you look at him, he's like a weird shape. Like I mean, no disrespect to Joe, and I won't say what I was going to say, but he's sort of like built, and he's like rounded at the back.
Yeah.
So all the muscle is sort of like built weird. And he's like, even though his legs aren't too big, he seemed really heavy to move. And he was sort of like, when I was like moving him and going to lift him, he had like a good base. He was solid, and it was like hard to take him down. Like, I think if you get under him, then he's quite easy to sort of take down. But until you get under him, he's like really set in his weight. And he was strong. He was very strong. He's probably one of the strongest people I've fought to date when it comes to the grappling side of things. But again, he was fresh as well. It was the first round, so like, people tire out. Like they said it was a high pace after the fight, but I didn't think it was. Like, that pace was really relaxed for me. It's because of the way I fight. So I'm either leaning on you, or I'm putting hands on you. So you're taking my weight. You're taking the shots from me, or I'm leaning on you. I'm not really. After the fight, when I fought the French guy, again, I'm terrible with names, in London, where I picked him up so many times, I gassed up by doing that. I don't really pick people up anymore, so it's more so I'm always dragging you or putting weight on you, when it's working so well for me at the moment.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing performance, and I think honestly you'd struggle to find many better title performances than that. You know, it was a real sort of point for on that division now. A knockout win first round, and I don't think you would ask for any more, really. So yeah, big congratulations. And I mean, I suppose that leads to the next question, which is who and what is next for you? I know obviously Cage Warriors have cancelled their Cardiff and London shows coming up due to COVID-19, but is there any names on the tip of your tongue, or any venues you're thinking about taking on now?
So Cardiff's been rearranged for August the 8th.
Right.
I think it's August the 8th. I don't quote me on that, but I'm sure it's August the 8th. August the something, 7th, 8th. So obviously the Cardiff card is my card. That's my event. Now Jack's gone. I'm head of the card. So I'd love to defend on there. Like I said, before I go to UFC, I really want to fight in Cardiff in a home show just before I sort of get in UFC. So whether in a normal way, if everything was normal and this virus wasn't ahead, would I have been signed yet? Maybe, maybe not. But I think after one defense, I got to be close to Cohen. I can't see me being too far away, especially the fights and the opponents I've had. But whether it is, whether or not, I'm not too worried. The way things look at the minute, I think I'm going to be in here till next year sometime. So I'm hoping I can get some good defenses in. I'd love to fight, like I said, in August and maybe once more for the end of the year. Surely they're going to have to put later cards on this year. So maybe I can get on in September, in August, and then maybe August, September, maybe October sometime. Maybe another twice till the end of the year. So again, I'm more than when them dates come up, I'm more than happy to defend. Obviously, whether Paddy fight comes, whether any other fights come, I'm not too worried about anyone in this division. I'll fight anyone. I've always, from speaking to my coaches and stuff, we want a UFC veteran. So obviously Danilo would have been a perfect fight just to show I'm more than ready to step into the UFC. Because everyone I fought, even though they've been top of the tree Cage Warriors wise. So obviously Alexi,
Cage Warriors wise.
yeah, Alexi, Joe, who's the other one? Begins with a D. I can't say his name. The Belgian.
Who are you talking about? Sorry.
My God, who did I fight? I fought Joe, Alexi before that, and then who was before that?
Casper.
No. Oh my God, the Belgian. My God, he trains out of Poulin's gym.
Yeah. Desme,
that's the one.
Yeah.
So Desme, Joe, and Alexi, they're all top of the Cage Warriors tree. But I haven't really fought anyone who's gone to UFC and dropped back out, or anyone who's made the UFC level. So a UFC veteran would be perfect for me, just to cement my place as more than being ready to step up. And if they could get me a veteran, that's what I want, to be honest. I want someone who's been there, done that, so that when I destroy them, then they know, all right, yeah, Mason's more than ready to step into UFC and my call comes. But until that happens, just keep getting me opponents. A UFC veteran I want, but if another name comes up, it's not going to be... I'm not going to refuse to sign a contract if they put a name on. I've never turned a name down yet, and I'm never going to turn a name down. So find me a name, I'll sign it, and we can go from there.
Yeah, no, fair play. Well, like I said, I'm not sure the exact date Cage Warriors are arranging for, but August sounds great. Hopefully then all this will be over and we can get some because I think we're all overdue now, and everyone's sort of champing at the bit for it, really. But one thing I did want to ask you quickly, obviously you're lightweight. If and when you do step up, obviously you've got probably the toughest division in the UFC to step into. There's a big fight coming up there in a couple of weeks now, which is Tony Ferguson and Gaethje. How do you see that one going, mate?
Ferguson.
Yeah?
Yeah, Gaethje's good, but Gaethje either knocks him out or gets knocked out, and Ferguson's hard to get knocked out, and I just think he'll grind Gaethje down, and as soon as Gaethje starts getting hurt, like, it's hard to hurt him because he's tough. Like, he's the type of guy you have to literally just destroy. Like, he wants to be in a war. And I think that fight is going to be monstrously bloody, and I think the two are going to be cut up. But I think Ferguson's going to cut him, and I just think that they'll stop it on the doctor's decision.
Yeah, that does tend to happen with his fights, doesn't it? I think the last 2 or 3 have all been stopped on the stool in the second round. So he does have a good habit of that. So yes, that's not a bad shout, actually.
Like, Gaethje's one of the people I'd love to fight in UFC. Like, I'd love to fight Gaethje, just because it's going to be a war. He's got good wrestling, but all he wants to do is strike, and I'd love to test myself against someone like that. But his kicking is sort of underrated in UFC. Like, he kicks you like he's trying to kick you out of the cage. So I'd like to see if Ferguson handles that well, because Ferguson does weird shit. Like, the stuff he does. Like, I think at one time he's doing like forward rolls in the cage for no reason at all, just because it's Ferguson, do you know what I mean? So I'd like to see how he handles Gaethje's kicking, and whether he actually checks kicks or whether he does something weird. And I'm looking forward to the fight. Like, obviously, I would prefer to see the Khabib fight. But if that's the fight that's going to happen, that's the fight that's going to happen. I am surprised, mind, that it is going back ahead with Gaethje and Ferguson instead of with Khabib and Ferguson. Because
I'm surprised they didn't arrange. I thought they would have kept that fight.
Yeah, because I'm sure that they could have got Khabib out if they needed to.
Yeah, it's strange, but I think it's one of those things, you know. it's just such a weird time. Anything goes at the minute. So, and the thing is as well, does Khabib want to go fight during this lockdown? You know, that's another thing to think of. I just think personally, I love the Gaethje and Tony fight because it's going to be a war. But at the same time, I can see in my mind Gaethje winning and then that Tony fight and Khabib not happening again. That's kind of what's going through my mind. Like, I'm just thinking he's had a couple of knockouts in a row now against big fighters. Tony does get hit, and I can just see that happening.
So you go in for Gaethje?
I'm going for Gaethje. Yeah, I think he's I think he's going to land something, and when he does, I think it's going to be Gaethje Khabib in the next fight. So
yeah, I can't see it because like seeing the way Ferguson took out who was his last opponent? What's his name? Max? Was it Max?
Ferguson's last opponent was Cowboy.
Was it?
Yeah, Cowboy and Pettis.
What am I thinking of then? Yeah, I just see the way he takes people apart and
Poirier, you're thinking of?
Is it Poirier fought Max? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure I seen one of Ferguson's fights and the way he manages to do stuff and like the way he puts pressure on people. I don't know. I think he's someone who's underrated a lot, but yeah, it's going to be a hell of a fight. Like anyone at the top of the level, you never know who's going to destroy who. Yeah. And yeah, I'm just interested to watch it go.
Yeah, it's a good event. But I think it's Dominic Cruz and Henry Cejudo on that card as well, which is another great fight to be fair.
Yeah.
And yeah, really looking forward to that one. What is lockdown looking like for you at the moment, mate? So obviously, you can't go to the gym. The gyms are all closed.
Wow. So I've got a home gym here. So I've got a good weight setup here. My dad's as soon as he sort of had the room for the house, he built the gym. So we've had a home gym since I was about 13. So they've got free weights for me to squat. They got dumbbells up to like 25 kilos, which is not ideal, but it's enough for me to get through my exercise and stuff. I stole a kettlebell from the boxing gym. So I got a 32 kilo kettle. So I've got everything I need really. We got the road so I can run outside. There's no really stress. The weather's perfect at the moment for outside. So I can run and stuff. And I've got the keys to the boxing gym. So there's only me and Lauren who's been given keys. Lauren's obviously the world champion currently, amateur boxing in Wales. So I'm sure she won the Worlds. It was like, yeah, the Worlds because she's training for the Olympics. So she's still in prep for the Olympics. So she's got the other key. So it's only me and her have keys. So I train at like 11 o'clock and I'm always in on my own. So I'm in there at 11, training, hitting bags, doing my kicking stuff and doing my footwork and stuff. So I'm trying to stay active as much as possible. Keep my S&C up, keep my fitness. Obviously, I can't do contact. I can't wrestle. And I can't do jiu-jitsu. So they're the three that are really going to kill me. But
good time to give the body some rest, though?
That was the thing. I come out of that fight. I didn't have an injury coming out of that fight. I had a little scram inside my nose from where, believe it or not, I scrammed myself while sleeping leading up to that fight. And yeah, I had a little scab on the inside. So when one of his shots caught me, he took the scab off. So I had a little bit of bleeding of blood, but nothing major. And that was all I got the fight with, a little scratch inside my eye. All the rest, I didn't have anything. Like a week or two later, I had a little ache in my finger joint where leading in that training camp, I got my finger stuck in a cage and like jarred my knuckle a little bit, but that's back to normal. So I haven't really had anything, to be honest. It's just been my camp's been going well. I haven't really had a big injury in a while, so I didn't have an injury I need to recover from. I didn't want any time off. All this really doing at the minute is just driving me insane. So I hate being away from the gym. So I just really want to get back to it and get back to training. And it's the first year where I haven't been in fight camp for my birthday. My birthday's tomorrow. So it's the first time it's the first time I haven't actually been in camp for my birthday. Because a year ago tomorrow, I weighed in to fight Desme. So I weighed in on my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can remember. It's
so
gone really fast, that is actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's flown around. So I've only done 3 fights in 12 months. So it's not really... It's not too bad. It's better than obviously it being UFC, but it's not as many as I want to do. Obviously, I'm hoping the next 12 months I can get a good couple of fights in. Maybe 1 or 2 Cage Warriors and then 1 in UFC. I'm hoping I can get a couple in UFC, but you never know how it's going to go. Like I said, obviously seeing how hard it is for people like Jack Jack and Jack, John, Brett, all those that get fights in UFC. It's hard, do you know what I mean? It's hard to stay active. So I'm just happy to fight as many times as I can, and then when that comes, make my debut and then try and be as active as possible. But it is difficult to know what's going to happen next and how regularly you can fight, but you've just got to stay ready and be ready. So that's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, no, it sounds good, mate. And I think that's a good time as any to call it a day. You know, you've shown us that belt, you've brought it back to Wales, and obviously from everyone, I just want to say a big congratulations and thanks for taking the time to speak to us, mate.
Thank you. And as soon as this is over, you have to pop down, grab a photo and stuff, and have a catch up in person.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, 2 seconds, let me turn it off.